You know what match I was never a fan of is the King of the Mountain match. Do you know how that one goes?
In TNA?
Well, it's older than TNA. I found out.
Oh, which one's King of the Mountain? I don't remember that one.
It's like a ladder match, but instead of climbing up the ladder and grabbing the belt, you grab the belt at ringside, and then you climb the ladder and hang the belt.
That's right.
I don't get why that match exists. You're right. I don't understand.
Well, it's like they have the reverse battle royal too, where you actually have to like get into the ring or something stupid like that.
Jeez, that's hilarious. No, the match I'm looking forward to eventually doing is, even though it was terrible in real life, I think in a video game it would be a blast. Is the three-story?
I was just going to say, I'll bet you're going to say Triple Cage.
Yeah, Triple Cage. Triple Cage with all those weapons hanging and the ladders inside the cage. Oh man!
Well, you had a couple of different versions of that. You had like the one with like the Hogan and Savage took on everybody. They took on like 8 guys. And you had the what's his face ended up in the electric chair. Was that Kamala? I can't remember.
Oh God, I remember that. That's just terrible. That's why we have to do it.
All right, Robert has sent us build. And
oh, you got it.
You
Sweet.
are the man. It's downloading right now.
So we're streaming, we're twitching, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh
we
yeah.
Probably say hi to like other. We're just kind of like shooting
everybody.
the shit. That's hey, we're actually have fans that we're talking to here tonight.
I know. Just so the chat room knows, we were a little bit late tonight because we had a build of the game with the crowd added, which was awesome, but we didn't have the ability to turn the crowd audio off, so we couldn't really stream it for you guys because we wouldn't be able to actually talk over the crowd noise. So we had to wait for our programmer to give us the option to turn off the crowd audio and upload a new build, and then we had to grab it. So that's what Eric is doing right now, I believe.
Right now. And it's also, like I said, it's a bleeding edge build in the sense that it's got a couple of other fun surprises that you guys haven't seen yet, and I haven't seen yet. So this is going to be this is going to be another one of those virtual unboxing type deals.
And we haven't even really talked about it either.
I know, it's going to be a complete gong show crapshoot, but yeah.
I mean, that's a Twitch Tuesday night. That is a Pro Wrestling X gong show of any time.
Yeah. You can't really be much more a part of the crew than this, right? Hanging out while we all try everything for the first time. It's kind of neat.
So
actually, I took the
horribly broken. Well, hopefully it'll
I've been playing with the build previously because one of the things this build is going to start doing is opening up some of the art assets to test the modding a little bit. Really, really basic brute force modding, just giving guys access to some of the core textures, so you can play with them, swap them out, and that, you know. So I was doing that a little bit, and that's kind of fun, man.
So that's in addition to the like separate from the editor that's in the game. That's actual.
Yeah.
More nuts and bolts kind of hands-on.
Yeah, this is for people who actually prefer to use Photoshop as their creative wrestler, you know, so you can bust it open. So I had some fun doing that, man. That was kind of cool. And of course, just seeing the crowd. The crowd is neat. I like when you win a match, the crowd goes nuts cheering for you. I never really thought, you know, a crowd was all that. Well, I mean, not necessarily, but I actually was pleasantly surprised at the improvement it made just in the energy of a match, just having that crowd there and hearing the crowd noise, you know.
Yeah,
dude, it looks hot. Sure. I think it looks hot. I just fired it up briefly and then discovered that I couldn't mute the audio, and I just saw it. It's like, wow, this looks totally different.
I know, right? One thing I want to be able to do as well is give everybody access to the crowd textures, if possible, or at least do some basic editing. You know, I think the crowd needs to be wearing wrestling T-shirts and all that fun stuff. You know, we got some of the crowd is like placeholder. I think we have.
Oh, it's totally placeholder.
There's some pretty crazy looking crowd members that I wouldn't expect to see at a wrestling match.
Well, there was
right
a guy with like a bright purple long shirt with like a green tie or something like that. He kept like appearing in the front row for me. I was like, so this is like our Pro Wrestling X sign guy or something.
There's some well-dressed individuals.
I know what I was going to say. I think we've got a couple, you know, generals in the army in the front row. And,
Really?
I don't know. Because we totally cheaped out. I want everybody to know that, you know, we just I think we just licensed a crowd. I forget.
What was it? It was a plugin, right? It was some kind of a development plugin, like a crowd generator or something like that.
Yeah, it was a crowd generator. Or no, it was just a crowd asset pack that we bought. Our previous programmer suggested I buy it to save some time, and I looked at it, and it was basically just a sports or a concert crowd, with with cheering animations and whatnot. And I'd much rather have Cola working on wrestlers and wrestling animations than crowd stuff. So we got it, intentionally. Just thought, well, at least we'll be able to have a placeholder crowd until we can circle back and improve it, So it seems to do the job. It's not bogging down performance. I'm not really getting a frame rate drop or anything with the crowd we have right now, so.
And it gives us a leg up when we go to do it proper, like when I go, maybe we can, make a crowd editor or something like crazy like that, right?
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be Eventually, it'd be fun if we could actually have like a seated crowd that would get excited and stand up, during the course of the match and that. But we got some.
Well, I don't see why we can't.
Yeah, it's just time.
I just kind of look and see what rig they're using in this pack, and then reverse engineer it or something.
Yeah, exactly.
There's got to be some raw files with that package, hey?
Oh yeah, we got all the FBXs and everything. So.
Yeah, that's all we need.
Yeah, that's all in there. King Leon 70 wants to know, can we edit the ring apron textures? We're going to give you the ring apron texture, all the textures actually for the ring, like from the post to the turnbuckle pads to everything. I was playing with it a bit today, but I didn't realize that Robert, our programmer, didn't actually have support for reading those changed matte textures yet. So I went and made myself a nice fancy new matte canvas, Wrestling Gamers United canvas, and it wasn't working, and then I find out that he didn't have that support turned on yet. But that's planned very shortly for that to happen, so people will be able to edit all that stuff. I know people are going to go nuts, man. Once you get access to the ring and the canvases and that, there's going to be like 200 freaking rings modded in by the weekend. I'm pretty sure it's going to be awesome.
And one thing to keep in mind when modding the apron is that I didn't have a chance to actually create the apron. Robert kind of threw a placeholder one in there, so
yeah. So that's
anything you mod is subject to change. You may have to rework it down the road, as opposed to say the mat and the and basically everything else.
Yeah, because like you say, Robert just kind of hacked it so you could.
Yeah,
could play with an apron, but Cola here is going to want to come circle back and set it up all nice and pretty for everybody and polish it up. So yeah, but right now, frick, our ring editor is already, I think, more robust than most ring editors I've ever seen in any other wrestling game. I mean, God, what other wrestling games have ring editors? Fire Pro had a pretty basic one, and I know Dave Warren's Action Arcade, I think, let you change colors of most of the assets. I'm not sure if you could import much. And then I don't know what else. So it's kind of fun having that already kind of cranking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can the crowd throw weapons in the ring? Funny, I was thinking that exact same thing today, how much fun that would be. No, they can't do that yet, but nothing's stopping us from adding that. Just got some other stuff to do first, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want top rope moves. I've got one half of my No Mercy offense complete now with the nut shots, and now I just need to spam top rope moves, and I'll be set to go.
And you're laughing, yeah. King Leon, will we get a color changer? For example, the blue option in the ring editor is too saturated, hurts the eyes. Right now the way we're changing colors in the editor is a really kind of it works. It's kind of placeholder right now just to kind of test the feature. I know what you mean, like eventually have almost like a color palette where we can
color
actually,
picker. Yep.
But it's tricky because that's being a PC game. We don't need to sit here and recreate Photoshop for our game, right? I don't know where we're going to actually draw the line where we say our in-game editor is is powerful enough. If you want any more depth, just bust open Photoshop. You know, I don't really.
It's a tough call.
Fine line.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it's the same. I think it's a tough call. I think there are certain things, because you correct me if I'm wrong there, Alex, but I think the way that he's doing it, he's just changing like an alpha or like an overlay over the asset, right?
Not even. I think the texture itself was completely being swapped for just a blank, or not a blank, but just a completely solid color.
So it's a separate. So it's a separately colored asset. It's not something that's being like color changed on the fly.
No, I know the way you're talking about, Eric, and I think that's the way No Mercy did it, and actually most wrestling games, at least last gen, did it, where people don't probably realize, but almost all in-game textures for games like No Mercy and that were gray, were grayscale. And the game engine, when you went in and changed the color, like in Create a Wrestler, it would actually just, it would change the. I'm not explaining this very well, but it's a grayscale texture, and then the game goes in colors and edits stuff when you edit. Right?
That's what a lot of the 8 and 16-bit games back in the day were all like just palette swaps for a lot of that stuff too. I thought.
Yeah, well, it's tricky again because like I say, we're on PC, man. Like, as much fun as I'll have messing around with the Create a Wrestler, in-game kind of editor, I know that a lot of the more talented artists are just going to want to take these assets into Photoshop where they can really go nuts, right? And a lot of stuff I think is going to be not necessarily like the mod community. I would imagine. Even if we do it this way, they're not going to probably want to mess with grayscale, different channels and layers. I think they're just going to want to. I don't know. You tell me, right?
I think we have to, at some point, we have to give that layer of depth, because when you start adding like non-local play, I mean, that's when the mod starts to break, right? You can't sync all the textures. Like, only you will be able to see your local textures. You can't see Photoshop ones. So we're gonna have to do something. Unity has a pretty powerful, just like a tint. It's in the shader. It's a shader parameter. It's called a color tint, and you can set it to any color you want, and it does a really good job of replacing a color. But the problem with it is, it's kind of doing exactly what Robert's doing, in that it replaces the whole texture. So we need to edit the shader a little bit to maybe obey a mask. So if like certain elements of the texture aren't changed, the color isn't changed.
Okay.
All right.
It's almost
sorry to interrupt, guys, but I've got the latest and greatest up and running now.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, someone asked a question I think I missed. Will you add steel steps? Yeah, down the road we're going to add
steps. That's right, yeah. We definitely have to.
I don't think we've shown this yet. I don't know if you guys want to show it yet, but Eric, the design document image that Cola made for our eventual ring editor?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to share that with people on your screen.
I'd have to find it at some point. Good Lord, I don't even know where it is. But let me see if I can dig it out. I can start jamming through this build first. I imagine people are going to want to see this.
Let's do that, man. So steel steps, wooden steps, all that kind of fun stuff is coming.
All right, so let's go. Okay, single play, Tyranor. All right, space. Tyranor, and let's go. Hey, isn't it fun listening to Eric talk to himself?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, take a look at this, guys. You're right, Dave. There's like a naval admiral or something like that sitting in the middle of the crowd.
Can you guys quickly just copy and paste the Twitch URL into the Skype so I can copy it over to my browser?
Yeah, I got it.
If you just go twitch.tv/ProWrestlingXGame, that'll get you there too.
I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if I'm broadcasting right now, but
you are broadcasting. I've got you up in like a separate window, so that's kind of like a picture-in-picture.
Fights. How is Robert actually producing the crowd signs right now? Does anybody know? Because I don't think they're textures. I think he's actually. I think the engine's actually printing on these things. I don't know.
You think so?
I don't know.
They look like Photoshop to me.
It looks like a.
They're really high res.
Generic.
They're really high resolution.
They are. I think they're kind of.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at it in Photoshop, and like you won't notice any pixels on those textures, even if you get right up close to them.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're kind of performance killer.
They could be. They could be. Right now, I guess probably not. But
is there a way to pull up like my frame rate? Like, is there a console within Unity? Like if I hit tilde?
Oh, probably not on this build. Like I don't know.
I know sometimes I used to be able to
pause and see what does Robert have any options for that?
Nothing in the pause menu. Usually that stuff it said. I remember back in the day, like Quake always had like if you hit tilde.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if that was set up right now, and that would kind of like show off your frame rate and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So people know that this build we've got weak and strong back grapple.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Oh, there's
RB, your right button there, your right shoulder.
Yep.
We'll switch. Yeah,
that's a good idea. Let me
go right back. You know what I realized? I was just telling Eric, I was playing WrestleMania 2000 the other day. I haven't played that in a while. And we were talking about, we're having a crew discussion about how we're going to get into introducing reversals and whatnot, right? I totally forgot that Aki had a generic back grapple reversal. I don't know if you remember this, Alex, but if someone had you in a back grapple and you reversed it, you would actually switch around and get in his back grapple position.
Yeah.
And
I totally remember that.
And I don't think there was any other move-specific back grapple reversals. I think that was their just one-size-fits-all back grapple reversal mechanic, was just giving you the control over the grapple.
Oh my God,
you might be right.
Dragon suplex looks sick.
I know.
It's left button to switch the grapple position. Just
really?
FYI. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Robert's got it synced up. Oh man, it looks pretty brutal against the ropes like that.
Oh God! Yeah, I gotta try. Let me see if I can position him. I don't know if I can. Have we ever been able to like grapple them and then move them around?
Nope.
Not yet.
No.
We got to get that working though, because one of the next things we talked about is doing Irish whipping, right? So if we're going to have an Irish whip, we need to be able to kind of tweak the rotation of the grapple position so you can aim a guy, right, at the ropes or at the corner.
Oh, that little takeover looks great, dude. That feels really natural. That's the weak grapple. That looks good. I like that.
Yeah, it's a cool move, man. That's nice. I love that thing. A dragon release suplex. Or is it a release dragon suplex? It's one of the...
Robert did a good job of syncing up the camera shake crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
It's like...
I always liked camera shake. Camera shake got a bad rap when we started doing it way back in the day.
Well,
I always like it. It's a nice
people probably assumed we were going to do like the WWE zoom in.
Oh God.
Angles, crazy, what's that called? That Dutch angle or something?
Have they eased up on that a bit? For a while there, I could barely watch Raw.
Raw is still have the shaky cam. It's awful.
Still absolutely ridiculous. Completely out of control with that.
Yeah, Kevin Dunn.
I look for reference, and I almost can't look at WWE for reference for moves.
It's nauseating, eh?
You can't see anything, and like the impact is what you want to see, and that's the part where the camera go to camera 5 and shake it all up, zoom in. You can't even see the whole character or the whole
Oh wow! Wait till you see this blood draw. A nice fat drop kick right to the face.
Nice.
God, this looks amazing. I mean, like I said, I think somebody in chat said it's like, yeah, I didn't think I would even notice, but it's like now that it's in here, awesome. It looks great.
Yeah,
listen, I don't think I got to tell you, I don't. I mean, again, it's maybe not like super res quality, but I don't. Ooh. It doesn't bother me at all. I think the high quality stuff is going on in the ring, and especially if you dimmed the lights a little bit back there, you could, in theory,
Sure.
you know, just make it so that you know, it's going to be that less detail anyway. But I'm
Yeah.
happy with it. We got to give them some
Well-
new moves other than just clapping and, you know, shaking their arms. But
They do have more animations than we can. I think they've got like a relaxed kind of just standing there with their arms crossed animation and whatnot. But
it doesn't. I said I think this looks awesome. Oh God, that dragon Slewplex looks ridiculous.
when you consider what this game looked like just back in
3 months
freaking
ago.
May, yeah, back in May, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
I
that
was just telling-
standing switch looks amazing.
I know, right? I was just telling Eric before we went live here, Alex. I was playing WrestleMania 2000 yesterday, just for kicks.
Oh yeah.
And I have to say, our game almost freaking stands up. You know, like just feel wise, gameplay,
Oh, the feeling?
the
Yeah.
core feel. After playing WrestleMania 2000, I was like, damn, man, we actually, you know, we shot for the stars, and or whatever the saying goes, and I think we landed there, man. It's coming along.
Well, it's gonna be funny. Is we're gonna start like rapidly progressing through like the generations of like wrestling video games. You know,
Man, I don't know what Robert did, but it looks. I mean, I'm watching it through Twitch, and it's chunky, but
well,
maybe I'm
that's on
missing
me.
some frames. But it
That's
does look
because of my
smoother.
yeah. That's because of
It's,
my
the
bandwidth.
The
being
blending,
so-
I don't know.
I'm looking forward to actually picking up one of those guardrails, beating someone with it, Irish whipping him into the crowd. You know, that's what I want to do.
See, I want my pop moment will be being able to jump off the top rope outside and like
Oh,
into the
yeah.
guard. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
Get up.
I agree.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
so
God, damn, this looks good.
Eric's getting crazy with those. Well, that's kind of the first strong move that we have in the game, because that Brain Buster that we made, you know, it's got that damage modifier, but that was kind of designed as like a quick grapple move. So
Yeah, we haven't even introduced the damage modifying yet, so that's something else that we we get to play with. We got we do have a pretty solid set of features and mechanics that we want before we call this 1.0. But you know what we haven't really discussed too much that we need to discuss, and I don't even mind doing it here on Twitch, you know, with our fans. But we've got, you know, what Kickstarter is considering 1.0, right? Like what we promised to deliver for Kickstarter, and we're damn near there. But we also need to consider what Steam would consider a 1.0 release to get us out of early access.
Well, that's on us.
a lot-
That's on us for to decide. Steam doesn't call that.
It is, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I definitely think.
Well, is there a difference between, say, early access and then, like, I mean, according to Steam, because obviously there is, but like a beta and say a closed beta
That I don't know.
I don't
and
know. I just know that
early
once-
access.
I know that once we're out of early access, you do get a little couple-day push again, where you're listed as a new release and get some more visibility as an actual release, right? So that's something that strategically we really want to be careful with. That when we actually, you know, decide to take our game out of early access, which, like Eric said, that's on us to define. You know, that we're ready for the attention we get, because it's going to be considered a, you know, quote unquote
Sure.
finished game. But you know,
Yeah.
Pro Wrestling X is not going to be a finished $60 AAA wrestling game for a while. So at what point do we actually release it into the wild as a finished indie kind of scope game? Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be, like, you know, feature proof as far as what's already in there, and then I think it's okay to say, you know, if we wanted to get out of early access before we had, say, a story mode or something,
Yeah.
that's the kind of thing you could DLC, I think, later on.
I think so. I just
As long
wonder
as the core is.
what's acceptable though for scope though. You know, like could you call it a full release with only 2 wrestlers, or do you need like a dozen, or you know, like I wonder, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And how many moves is that?
I know, right? right? I think we definitely need flaming barbed wire ropes, though, for one.
Dude, this is fun. I said this really. I mean, this is absolutely astonishing. Even if people like go back a month in our Twitch chats and look at the game versus like looking at this now, this is amazing. This looks really, really cool.
Look at release. I mean, that's one of the things that I've got on my priority list here. I've already been capturing video footage. We got to redo the Steam video because we've got the launch version of the game, which is just a brainbuster simulator, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the video for that on Steam right now, and God, it's night and day now. The game compared to the launch, right?
Oh, dude.
Which, by the way, you know, a pat on everyone's back. We've had nothing but 100% positive reviews since we started updating all summer up until, you know, we're still rocking with positive reviews. Hey, that looks good, man. I love that spinning cam, seeing the crowd.
Yeah, this is pretty fun. I said, all right, let's get this guy. Let's select our ring. I love this ring. This is my favorite ring. This blood red mat with the white ropes. I think this looks so cool. Yeah, he's done like he made like a whole bunch of these signs. We want more blood. Tap tap tap.
Well, I couldn't find them in any of the directories in the game, so I don't know where he's. You can't access them to change them. I was just going to swap some stuff out, right? But I couldn't find them.
Yeah, but this is just feeling really, really tight to me. Look at that release. Oh my God. I don't, you know, I'm sitting there, I was trying to think the other day, I'm not so sure I've ever seen a release Dragon Suplex before. I think anytime I've seen them go in that full Nelson position, it always ends in the pin. And I was trying to like, God, would that even just be really hard to even pull off in real life? Like trying to release that from that position. Because if you hook them behind the head.
I'm pretty sure No Mercy had one, but definitely when you look them up, they usually hold on to it.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think I was tempted. Like, God, you may have invented a move.
Did you make this ring, Eric?
I did not. I think this is the standard. I think it was like
one of Robert's examples. Yeah,
I think I love this. Is my favorite with the black and white turnbuckles and the red ring canvas.
Yeah,
I think this looks hot.
This one's cool. Yeah, that one's pretty cool.
Love it, man. Even the ropes right now, even though they're just, you know, basically animated, it's functioning fine. I'm not.
Doesn't bother me even a little bit. I said I'm having fun playing it, and I said that's why I'm so quiet right now. I'm just like I'm actually having fun playing the game.
That's awesome.
And like I said, once we start getting more, the ability to do more stuff, like, you know, be able to, like, you know, throw people through tables and all that stuff, this is just going to be, I mean, I better get all my work done now, because between this and when the new Binding of Isaac hits on October 31st, you guys may never ever see me again.
Yeah, I'm there with Rock Band 4 next week.
Never start playing Binding of Isaac. Never ever start. Although I did reach Real Platinum God, I 100%ed the game, which is like fucking impossible. Freaking impossible. Well, no, it was effing impossible. That is no exaggeration. That thing nearly killed me.
That's funny.
Apparently, Scott Steiner used the release Dragon.
Okay, yeah, that sounds familiar.
Steiner did? No. I'm hearing Taz maybe did, but I don't know. Maybe I guess
Taz usually, he threw a lot of release suplexes. Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't remember from a Dragon position. Well, at least I just don't remember it. Scotty Steiner never really did a Dragon suplex for mine.
Sure,
did he? Did he?
He was suplexing the shit out of people.
Yeah, but he was. I thought he was like Captain Belly to Belly.
He did all kinds of shit. He's from Japan. Well, he's not from Japan, but did his time.
Yeah.
I know he had that what's that move? What do they call it? Where they he lifts him up in a vertical suplex, and then he just like drops him straight down like a buster. What is that called? From No Mercy. You know what I'm talking about.
That looks good when you bust him open with a brain buster.
Isn't that God? I mean, especially when the guy's unmasked and everything, he looks like a walking.
I know.
Some kind of a zombie.
Beauty.
Yeah, this looks tight. This looks so it feels good. It's really starting to really round out.
I know, right?
I always said I was really skeptical about the crowd, but boy, it really does add a whole different environment to this thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things, again, it wasn't on our list for 1.0 Kickstarter milestone that we were, focus, right? But we'd already had the content. It was simply a matter of dropping it in the game, so why not? And yeah, it fills it out nicely, At least it feels like, every time we add more stuff, I feel more and more good about accepting $9.99 for it.
Well, this I can tell you, this definitely feels like $10 worth to me. I mean, it's.
Oh, really?
We need a little bit more depth, but we're getting there.
Functionally, what's funny is, like, I think we were talking about this not too long ago either. When you look back 10 years ago at what we had for a prototype that we went and raised all that money to open a studio and start the project, we had nothing. If we would have had this back in the day, Christ, we could have got a publishing deal or something, Like, this is actually...
Well, and it's amazing to me, like I said, that this is essentially the work of two guys between Cola and Robert.
Yeah.
I mean, that and, how many teams of people would this have taken back in the day, 10 years ago?
I know, right? We're lucky these days with the technology, like with the Unity engine. Obviously, it makes things easier is the wrong word, but I mean it's just more efficient. It's more helpful, to get things done. Which I have to wonder too. Where are all the other indie wrestling games? Like with the amount of tools and assets and knowledge that's available to people these days, I'm not saying making a wrestling game is easy by any stretch of the imagination. It is still, it takes a lot of...
Well, but to build the assets that go into a wrestling game, though, is still pretty hard.
It is, But I mean, compared to what it was like 10 years ago to try to do this, back when we were using the Torque engine and suffering horribly.
Is Torque even around?
No, they
Ooh, I've got my first glitch. Oh, wait till you see this one. He Jedi slams him like the Force.
You know what we never did, though? We actually have a Torque version of the game that we completed to fulfill our Telefilm agreement, right? It basically looks like Uprising, but with everybody's got the same move set, and there's only like 3 moves in the game or something like that. But you could.
You guys had like dozens of moves.
We did, but when we did the original Telefilm deal, we had a deadline date, and we just couldn't get it all done, right? So it was a really small scope game. You still had the same amount of characters, but they all had the same limited moveset. Although in that build, that was the build of the game you actually could run up on the balcony and do a moonsault into the center of the ring, so that was kind of fun. But that build's never been released. It got put on a CD, sent to the Telefilm archives, and we closed out our contract. That would be fun to release someday. The Torque build.
Hey gang, I banned the one user guys who was posting the spam link. So.
What? Somebody posted a spam link?
Yeah, we gotta stay on top of that. Although the chatters were all over it, but we're to the point now where we're getting spammers in our chat room.
Well, all right.
Now you know we made it, right?
All right.
Oh, brother, that's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I said this is looking really tight. We'll eventually have to put some of our fans in the crowd.
Oh yeah, we've got a couple people already lined up. I mean, I don't know if you remember.
We've got some people that go way back. Ooh.
Actually, I don't know if you remember, but when we did E3, freaking back in 2003,
was
Dave
that? God, do you think you're right?
Dave Horn actually entered a contest, and we had some kind of fan video contest. Dave Horn entered it and won. And
that's
the prize
right. I believe he was wearing a mask, right?
I think so, and he gets to be in the crowd. So we got to put Dave Horn in the crowd.
That's a given anyway.
That's hilarious.
I'd love to put Matt Dickey in the crowd. Hey, how are you making this glitch? That's not cool.
I'm trying. It's basically I'm trying to see if I can trigger it again. It's really rare.
You button mashing something to make that break?
Well, no, I was able to do it a little bit. Maybe no? I was trying to like hold down the controller while doing the mid grapple switch, but even that wasn't doing it. Yeah, it snaps right back after the move is complete. I'm trying to see if I can recreate it. Yeah, yeah, definitely recreate it. Definitely.
Just so y'all know, I got like 10 minutes, and then I gotta go pick up the car at the wife's work here. So.
Okay. You could always just mute. You could just mute your mic, and then we could. We'll still be able to use your because you've got the chat running.
Go for a walk. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, man, these signs are actually pretty funny. These actually look like wrestling signs.
There's some not bad ones, man. I definitely want to put the trolling sign in. You know, the guy behind me can't see. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one. I'd like, Cola actually had a cool idea. I hope it's cool with me mentioning it. I don't think I'm giving away any trade secret here, but Cola had the idea that maybe crowd signs actually be used to kind of trigger almost achievements or something, eh?
Could be. There's any number of things we can do. Yeah.
Are there achievements or just like you get a boost in your spirit or something?
Yeah, like give us an example of what you think a sign might say, like during a match.
What got me thinking about it is I thought a funny sign would say, "Brainbuster his ass," right?
Yeah.
Like as if anyone would ask to see that.
That'd be cool.
But but like I was thinking maybe this sign only pops up, for I don't know, 10 seconds or so, and if you can pull off a brainbuster, or whoever pulls off that brainbuster while that sign is up there, it triggers a reaction from the audience that it acts as kind of like a taunt, and that it boosts your spirit a bit.
Like, you get a pop or whatever, for like doing what the sign says. That's cool.
Yeah,
I dig that.
Because it gives you kind of an it's like a different objective while you're wrestling,
It's cool. Yeah, it's like a little.
Well, it's almost like you're playing to the crowd. I mean, that's essentially what wrestlers do.
It's like a side quest in a wrestling game. It's cool.
Side quest.
I don't just want to leave the crowd there, Like, I totally want to do stuff, like, with the crowd. Interaction.
I would love to see crowd members fight amongst each other. That would be hilarious. I would think a full-out riot mode would be hilarious. Go back to like the 60s.
I want to see that moment like Eddie Guerrero, where he was up against the barrier and somebody poured a beer on his head, or something. And then I want to be able to turn around. And punch that crowd member out, man. I know that something that small requires, all sorts of, like, you got to have the character rigged and whatever to interact with the wrestlers, but if we could have just one, maybe two, just almost like one or maybe two interactive crowd members for a little extra punching bag action. I think.
Well, are they considered? I mean, they have physics on them, don't they? I mean, you'd be able to interact with them, right?
They're character models, but they're not rigged the same as our wrestlers. They can't share the animation. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe Unity has.
No, I see what you're saying. I just meant like I thought they would still have some kind of you'd be able to interact with them at least in some point, whether you could just knock them over or.
Well, you guys remember every once in a while, someone would run over the barricade and get in the ring, and then one of the wrestler would like legit stomp their ass.
Oh yeah.
That'd be something you could do. You could just spawn a dude and have him run in.
That'd be
and then if you can stomp his ass, before the security gets to him or something, then.
Well, I gotta tell you, I said I'd still love to see things like cameramen. I'd love to see a ref. I think maybe I'm only in the minority there, but I would love the ability to be able to choose a ref, and maybe even have each referee has their own different personality. It's some refs have a little bit faster count. Some have a. We'll let you get away with more things.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah. Fire Pro had refs with slightly different stats, like the how fast they would count for a heal or face and stuff, but I'd love to do stuff like that.
Because that's always I said that's been. I have no desire. Well, I mean, I would love to be a playable character. I think that'd be awesome. But I would secretly love to be like a referee in Pro Wrestling X. That would crack me up.
That'd be awesome. I'd like to see a cameraman where you could actually switch to his point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
Like actual camera cuts with the actual camera. That'd be neat.
I like the ambiance of like just who's at ringside. Like if you go to Japan, there's like a bunch of cameramen at ringside.
Yes.
If you go, I don't know.
Absolutely, I know what you mean. I love that. They're all just leaning on the apron there at the camera. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. If we're gonna have the budget for crowd anyways, you might as well have fun with a couple of them,
Well, anything that just adds more things that you can do to the game. I mean, especially while we're starting to still try to get the mechanics rolled out. It's just anything that keeps adding depth, man.
We've been flying, really, man. I gotta publicly voice my appreciation to Cola here for cranking out the animations to let us do the back grapples. That was a lot of animation to get back grapples happening and the moves and stuff, man. So,
those back transitions were. It's hard to, just because they keep switching position and we're doing it organically, so they're not like perfect 90-degree switches, right?
Yeah.
So it was actually kind of tricky to.
It feels really smooth. I can tell you, playing the transitions between doing the front to back, and then even the back to front feels really solid. It feels really tight.
Are you able to grapple directly into a back grapple?
I believe so.
Stand behind the guy and grapple?
Yeah, I know you can. In fact, one of the things I was having not trouble with, but let me see if I can let him go again. I was having not trouble with, but I was when you try to grapple from the back, and you just try to strong grapple, you'll jump right into the move. Let me see if I can try to.
Okay.
Yep. If you grapple him from behind, like he's facing away from you, and you strong grapple into him, you grab him and do the move almost instantaneously.
Okay,
there's not a second button grapple.
Is that because your finger is still holding down the button though?
Yes. I'm assuming. Yeah.
It's probably a bug either way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can try to do it on a weak grapple.
I
want to do it on a weak grapple. It's only on strong.
I want to be able to grab the sign from the crowd and rip it in half, man.
Well, I would, if you start be able to grab things like stop signs. Well, who was it that used to do that? That used to, you pull a sign and then you rip it off and then had a stop sign in the middle of it. Was that an old WCW hardcore trick? That sounds like something WCW would do.
Man, I think it seems like 3/4 of the programming on the network is WCW, man. They're definitely getting.
I have fun watching all that. I said I'm a primetime wrestling guy. I don't watch too much old WCW anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good.
I've been getting more requests from YouTubers to share keys. What are you guys' opinion on that?
Oh, like guys who want to review it?
Yeah.
See, if they've got 30 subscribers, no. If they have 300,000, sure.
No, but I mean, do you think the game is at a point where you would feel comfortable, getting more attention for it? Because I know we had some YouTubers completely freaking decimate us at launch, right?
This will stand up to anybody, I think. Granted, I have not played 2K16 and all that stuff, so maybe people would really shred this one way or the other. But I'm playing this and I'm enjoying it, and I feel like it's pretty tight. Not a lot of bugs that I see. We've had a couple of weird things happen here tonight, but I haven't been able to break it yet. It's good. Stable. It doesn't crash.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to say is since Robert's really been cranking on it, I haven't had the game crash on me at all.
Isn't that crazy? That's awesome.
Used to crash on me. Even Unity is kind of crashy sometimes. But no, it's been good for me, man.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. I know we got a couple of our launch YouTube reviews. I'd like to invite those guys to try the game out again.
No, I mean, for real, that's exactly what I was going to suggest, is let's look those guys up and let them have at it again. If they want to, you know, they said there was a couple that killed us, and it was hard, it was painful to watch, but you know what? You play a game now. This is an entirely different, you know, not just a cliche. This is an entirely different ball game here, you know.
We're coming up, you know, November 10th is the 1-year anniversary of Steam launch.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, what? He just gave me a drop kick while I was crouched down.
Hey,
I might have been in that.
No, you should have been in vulnerable standing. We had that discussion.
I think I was standing up after exceeding my crouch timeout. So let me try that again.
There's a bit of blend time there between, because there's no animation. There's actually no animation for crouching to standing. So I think what happens is as soon as you let go of the crouch, that stand animation has been triggered.
I just
right?
noticed that. Yep, because I exceeded my time while the guy because this guy's beat up like hell.
I think that's fair though. I think that's fair because while you're crouching, you are not invincible. When you're crouching, you should be susceptible to a strike. A crouch
when you're crouching.
Yeah, a crouch is not a block. You're not blocking.
I think it is, man.
No.
Well,
the trick is though it depends on the strike, because if it's a punch, his hand is going over you.
Somebody fucking no mercy, damn it.
yeah, exactly.
Fire up our design document.
Can the nut shot be countered if you time your block?
Oh.
That's what I was wondering.
I've never seen
I don't remember
crouch move countered that I recall.
You know, I think I've seen. What's confusing me is I know that there was a separate nut shot that you could perform from standing, like the China one.
Yeah.
And I've seen that one be reversed, obviously, but I don't remember if.
Yeah, because they'll like catch it or they do. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Yeah, they catch your arm and they throw you around or whatever. So those are good questions. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that you can't be grabbed or blocked in that state. But it's worth looking up for sure.
Oh God, they're talking about Raw last night in chat, guys. I feel you. I feel you. It was really bad. They've now made Kane a superhero. They've made corporate Kane, you know, without the mask, and he's funny, and he is funny. Don't get me wrong, he's funny. But last night Rollins went in there and like kind of kicked the crap out of him and stretchered him out. And he had a transformation inside the ambulance. They had like red lights and smoke inside the ambulance, and Evil Kane popped out. It was just like, oh come on, man! I had to tap out. It was too much for me. It was bad.
I'm all for comic book Evil Kane, man. Give him one more run. Come on. One more run.
Just I don't know, man. I am a Kane fan. But it's just the goofiness of they don't have to do that. Why can't he just come out there and just kick ass? I don't need like the superhero. Even if it's like, okay, I'm normal corporate Kane, and then okay, 2 weeks later I show up on Evil Kane. Okay, that's cool too. But the mid transformation, they had somebody put a red light fixture inside of an ambulance with a fog machine. I mean, that's just like, can you imagine the set design? Like, well, okay, guys, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to make sure that this ambulance has fog on the inside, and then Kane's gonna come out. And it's like, come on.
Oh, that's hilarious.
If it wasn't for the New Day is still the absolute rock stars of Raw, and I will watch them to death.
I think that's my wife calling. I'm going to have to mute here, and I might be back.
Okay.
Okay, hopefully.
Yeah, man.
See ya. Bye. Oh my God, that was a really loud ringtone. Oh, did he mute all audio? Oh.
I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, thank God. I was like scrambling, going, "Hey, that's not going to be any good. We're just going to have to just wrap up for tonight." Oh man, Dude, I'm loopy.
Told you. I should have trolled you a little longer.
Dude, that's fine. You totally work me too. I'm tired. It's like it's like 11:30. I've been working. I had put like a 14-hour day of just like nothing but coding, and I just got like nothing in the tank here tonight. So that's all right.
Crazy. Yeah, we need you to do some. Need you to do some front end design here.
Yeah, we gotta get. Well, and I need your help on that kind of stuff too. I'm good at like making it clean and making it stuff, but you can help me make it look cool. Because we gotta get the just some of the stuff cleaned up. Gotta get the control mechanism so that people can actually read it. That's pretty bad. But I said I'm not gonna rag on Robert too much about that stuff because he's doing what he can to get us some art.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Sure.
So,
so we got a little. We need to kind of like test it out and make some decisions before we get in there.
Yep.
Anyways.
Well, and I thought about. Sorry, guys, this is inside baseball, but I was thinking about doing some more like almost like HTML mockups, where you're actually able to interact with it. On a screen. Actually click some things and see if button placement makes sense and all that kind of stuff, and just stupid things like that. Boy, we got to do something about making sure that you can't have signs in the front row on the hard camera side. Because I've got a couple of of obnoxious fans that are very aggressive about their signs. And it's covering up like a good part of the ring, but that's all right though. It really does. If people have signs, maybe they're allowed to hold them up for 5 seconds and then they have to drop them down or something.
Yeah, we could. The signs don't need to be up all the time either. Like. Maybe the animation is there.
I have got a really nice Jedi Dragon Sleeper going here. Wait till you see this one. I got to figure out what's triggering that. Wow, that was awesome. I haven't had this is the first time I've had any bugs like that pop up in any of these streams. So it must be something new that he's doing.
Oh, there you go.
Or something. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's triggering that. I got to see if I can try to figure out how to get that triggered again.
It's like the Matrix.
Yeah, I just think it's like he's like Jedi mind tricks where he's like levitating him and then like force choking him or something. Yeah, that's all right. It's that's where we need the UF'd up chat or the UF'd up chant. The
yeah.
But yeah, let's see if I can try to figure out how to trigger that again. It might just be like I said, 1,000,000 shot where you're just in the right position and.
Well, sure. Were you near the ropes there?
Nope, not in that time. Yeah, but that transition to... I really like the transition back to front where he pushes them out and then kind of grabs them again. I really like that. That's really a clever way to do that. That seems like you've nailed that.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
what did they do? What was No Mercy looking like?
It was almost exactly the same.
Was it? Okay. I never really did much of that. I never really did a lot of switch grapple positions, so maybe I'm,
Man, maybe by the time this game's done and you you test all the new features that involve high level play, you'll be like a pro at No Mercy, I bet you.
I'll bet. Well, it's funny how all those old Nintendo games that you used to play, like when you were a kid, that you can pick them up now, and they're so simple. Like I struggled, like some of these, they were really hard, and I can pick them up now, and I'm like, whoa, okay. I don't know if it's just your hand-eye coordination's better or what, but.
Well, the hardest part about those goddamn LJN Royal Rumble games for Super Nintendo is just you had to button mash so fast and so hard for so long. Because, oh man, it was just.
Which one were you talking about? Was it Royal Rumble?
I'm back.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, there was Royal Rumble and Raw and I don't know WrestleMania.
I never played a ton of wrestling games on the Super Nintendo.
Nah, me neither.
I'm trying to think.
Well,
I remember mostly it was a Nintendo thing. I did pro wrestling, then WrestleMania, then WCW wrestling, which was I really enjoyed that one. I really thought that was really clever. And then oh gosh, what was the wrestling game where they had the cinematics? Tecmo World Wrestling.
16-bit, yeah.
No, this is 8-bit. This is the regular
Okay.
Nintendo. That was Tecmo World Wrestling.
There was Tecmo where they would show little cutscenes, and they had like the announcer scrolling along the bottom.
That was probably the last wrestling game that I played before the Nintendo 64. I think. I don't know if I ever played much because that was when I was into college, and so my brothers had the Super Nintendo and I had nothing. And so that was also my Genesis years where I was mostly playing Madden and all that stuff up at the dorm rooms. So I never really played many wrestling games on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I missed that whole generation really kind of for gaming, you know. Same with you. I did the NES where I loved pro wrestling and Tecmo, and those were awesome. Then I went to college, you know, and then I remember coming home to visit the family one holiday season. My brother had a Nintendo 64, and he was like, dude, you gotta try out this WCW Revenge game. And I wasn't even watching wrestling at the time, you know, so I didn't even know half the freaking wrestlers. And man, did we have a blast playing that.
That was fun. Was Revenge before World Tour?
No, World Tour came first.
Okay.
Then Revenge with its awesome, you know, Battle Royal or Royal Rumble mode or whatever, where the wrestlers would just keep coming out. And oh man, that's the best wrestling party game, man. It's that Royal Rumble mode.
Yeah, it really is.
Sorry, we keep getting some.
What's this freaking transport or glitch I've seen a couple times now?
I'm trying to figure out. What to trigger.
Try and get a solid repro.
Well, we're in good company, man, because that is textbook Legends of Wrestling glitch. So.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm trying to figure out what the trigger is. I'm trying to, like, if I grapple from an angle, sometimes I may be able to do it. Maybe, I don't know. Let me try it again. Let me try a couple of different things here. It seems like I'm just in the right place at the right time, you know, with any of these glitches, which is the worst thing. No, because even if I grapple from the side, he snaps to the front.
That's interesting. I gotta tell you, hey, it looks like we're getting a little bit of that glitch I've seen before with the blood, where you get like a bright white outline. Are you kind of getting that in your?
Yep, I see it. Yeah. I see it.
I wonder what's going on there.
Well, it's probably the I don't know what the texture looks like, but you probably have like an alpha channel in there, and maybe that's just a different blend. Like the edges are not fully transparent or something. Yeah, because it does kind of look like he barfed. It was like really bad barf. Which is that'll probably Alex have to go through and kind of do a sweep of that kind of stuff. He'll be able to.
Yeah, you're probably exactly right.
Yeah. Sure, he'll be able to give us some non-vomitous blood. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can trigger it. Let me see if I can come. No, snaps there. Yeah, what we'll probably end up having to do is watch the Twitch broadcast back. And I save the raw video to my hard drive every time. And maybe I can see if there's something like a certain position I'm in or something like that.
Yeah, I get requests.
But this is the first time we've had that on one of our Twitch streams in a long time. Maybe since like the second or third one. It's been quite some time before I've ever had any bugs there.
Interesting. Actually, Daniel from 5 Star was asking where we keep the replays of our Twitch, because he's another guy who's in a different time zone. He's over in Scotland or Ireland.
I export them to YouTube almost immediately.
I think I need that. Yeah.
Twitch only broadcasts. Yeah, Twitch only broadcasts or archives the broadcast for like 10 days, and then it goes to then I upload it to YouTube. Yeah. And I'll have to get. That's
where I watch the ones that I'm not in part of.
Yeah.
I just type it in on YouTube.
I need to consolidate a bunch of those accounts, and I actually found one the other day. We have a YouTube account that's been floating out there that we have one video uploaded, and it's like Uprising raw footage from like 4 years ago or something like that. I just discovered it today, so I was like, hey, check that out.
Question in chat: to move an opponent while in a grapple, does that require an animation or not? I'm not sure I understand the question.
Like if I have him locked up, and then if I wanted to start dragging him across the ring,
No, not really. If we're going to do it the No Mercy way, they just kind of rotate and move while in the grapple loop, right?
Well, the feet would probably have to move.
No, they don't. I don't think they do.
No Mercy doesn't, but I would love to see their feet move.
Yeah.
Because you just get on the skating rink, and that looks a little weird.
I like Giant Graham 2000 on the Dreamcast did it really good. Like, you would actually struggle, and you'd be stomping your feet back and forth, you know?
Really?
Like,
I gotta play some of these games.
Push and pull. It's amazing what they got out of the old hardware when they really tried, you know?
Hey, Dreamcast was a tight little system. You could do a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Bang.
God, the chat is all over the place tonight. Every time I go in there, they're like on completely different topics. Another talking about NWA Wildside. This is a name I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah.
All right, gang, we have reached our 1 hour mark. I'm starting to hit the wall. I'm at...
I gotta tap out here soon, too. Somebody mentioned in chat AJ Styles, and it's funny you mention AJ because I think Robert, our programmer, said that was his goal for the creative wrestler, that he would consider at 1.0 once he could finally make a really good AJ Styles in our creative wrestlers.
I like that.
Yeah.
I got to see if I can talk to him. He's in Kalamazoo on the 23rd.
That's right. You keep mentioning, yeah.
I got to see if I can get a hold of him somehow. I got to see if I can make that happen.
If we can show him what we've got now, he might actually not avoid us anymore.
I know, right?
No.
He might actually return your call one of these days.
Well, he's a free agent now, right? So.
Well, yeah, I guess. In theory, I mean, he's doing all that New Japan stuff, and then Ring of Honor. He's in. That's who's bringing him in is Ring of Honor.
He was a tough guy to. We used to talk a lot, you know, when TNA started up, but he was a hard guy to get a hold of once he became Dixie's right-hand man during the Hogan era and everything.
I mean, what are we? I mean, I wouldn't blame him a bit for kind of checking out on us. I mean, we didn't have anything. Nothing was happening.
We had nothing. I can't wait till we can actually cross this Kickstarter off our list, and maybe Colt Cabana will say something nice about us again.
Don't get me started about Colt Cabana.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Hey, is Mick Foley in the new 2K game? Because he kind of.
Oh no, he is because they just made a big deal about how he's got 3 characters in there.
Okay, because he the previous 2K game, he publicly lambasted them for the incredibly bad payday he got for that, and said he wanted nothing to do with it anymore if that's how insulting they were going to be. So,
well, not to change topics on you, but I think I may have figured out why the blood looks the way it does. He has blended, I think, the blood splatter with the original ring texture, because if you're playing at it with the traditional gray matte, it looks totally blended. And I'll bet that's what's happening is he's got, in order to be able to get that blend between the edges, he's put a little bit of the ring color into the blood, and I'll bet that's what it is.
So
if he makes that with like an actual alpha channel with transparency.
Well, no, he is. He just needs to make the background of the texture red.
Here's a
then
question.
It'll bleed into more red.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yep. There you go.
Has anybody been able to recreate the bug? I haven't seen it recently, where a blood splatter would appear to kind of float a few inches off the mat and rotate with the camera.
I have not seen
Yeah,
that.
so the way that those work is they're decals, right? So what a decal is essentially is it's like a flat piece of geometry that is, you know, just a butt hair off of the surface. So, and I think, the way he's got his sorting going must be that, you know, 2 are overlapping. You know, they can't be in the same space, so one has to go up a bit. And if you happen to manipulate the camera so you're looking sideways, you probably will notice the. Notice that. And there has to be a bit of distance there because when you zoom out, typically in these engines, sorting gets really crazy, and like if 2 semi-transparent textures are on top of each other, the farther you zoom out, the harder the engine has harder time it has sorting which one's in front of the others.
Makes sense,
Whatever.
man. Thanks for the lesson, man.
Very detailed.
I just
explanation.
No,
like
that's
the concept
cool.
of hover blood. I think that sounds awesome.
Hoverblood. I just like that, blood stays on the mat. It seems like not a big deal, but it wasn't that long ago where consoles, your blood would disappear because a console couldn't allow that many blood decals on the mat before killing frame rate, right? So it's kind of neat that we can have this.
I've never heard that one.
Well, we could conserve decals by making ones that are slightly bigger, so that if one starts to splotch on the other one, instead of having two there, you replace the one or both of them with a larger blood splat. So-
Yeah.
And then you don't have as much. You have to worry about depth either.
Yeah.
You could try it. I don't know. Might look weird, but
Interesting.
trial and error is kind of all you can do.
So, Eric, are we wrapping up? Is it Betty time for Eric?
Oh, when you put it like that, I can't say it's Betty time, but I've definitely hit the wall. It was a long day, and yep, I'm fading fast. But we got ourselves an hour in, and yes, this crowd is looking tight, though, man. I had, I hope everybody's digging it out there, because I am. I think this looks. For me, it's like I don't even really pay attention to the crowd, but it's just kind of cool that it's there. It just adds a certain level of ambience,
The crowd, and then we showed some new back grapple moves, and that's cool.
I just did a pinfall, and the random camera cuts. It was you'll see it catching up in a second here. The first was behind one of the signs, so you completely lost the ability to see the ring.
Oh, nice.
I got it.
Someone asked us, since back grapples are done, what's coming next? That's what we're actually talking about, right? Oh, buy Pro Wrestling X. That's funny.
Yeah.
What's coming next is we're debating turnbuckle interaction, and
I think we should. I'd like to go right to the top rope stuff.
Yeah, I would
Top rope
too.
stuff.
I want to see a moonsault.
Let's do it. There you go. That's the answer, man.
I think,
We're gonna be
a
hopping.
moonsault would be
Yeah.
lots of fun.
Grasshopper is going to be hopping on the turnbuckle. Right on.
Yeah, I should probably Skype with Robert. I have some ideas on how I think it should work.
Oh, there's a couple of different ways, right? We reverse engineered a few games, and we talked to an animator on Legends of Wrestling. A few different ways you can do aerial moves, right? So I guess, see what.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear how they did it on an actual game.
Yeah, with varying degrees of success too, though, right? So, but yeah, we should chat about that. Well, hey, man, thanks everybody for hanging out. Eric and Cola, man, appreciate the time doing these. These are awesome. It's always nice to have a reason to do a Twitch, have a new build with new stuff to show people, instead of showing up on Twitch to make excuses for why the update isn't out yet. That's always fun. So I would say everybody give us probably at least a week. We've got some stuff to really polish up on this update and optimize it and whatnot before we can release it. But you never know. We might get rocking and get it done before then, but you saw what's going to be released next. After this, you've just heard that we're going to be working on turnbuckle, aerial moves, stuff like that, and not much farther. We're going to have our Kickstarter delivered. Thank God. I just read another story online about another indie developer that raised $30,000 and then proceeded to close and delete all of their websites and accounts and take the money and disappear. So,
that sucks.
at least we're going to be we'll be one of the Kickstarters that actually delivered. So it'll be fun because actually most Kickstarters fail, isn't that?
Well, well.
Fails to
I think it depends on. Yeah, I think it depends on the category. I think it depends on all that kind of stuff. I have not seen the full stats when it comes to some of that stuff, but
I think most gaming Kickstarters. It's not. That
I know
they
most
failed,
gaming Kickstarters are late. That I know.
Yeah, almost all late, and I think more than half failed to ever deliver. So at least we'll be in the good pile. So that's nice. All right, man. Well, thanks everybody. thank you all, you guys. Keep following us on Steam and Facebook. I do make a habit of showing up every day and answering questions and posting new screenshots and that as I get them. It's been fun, and we'll keep rocking. And who knows, we might have a new build to play with for next Tuesday Twitch. Keep in touch. Newsletter coming up Friday, and as soon as this build is updated and ready for you guys to play on Steam, we'll be all over Twitter and Facebook and Steam letting you know. So thank you everybody for your awesome questions. I hope we gave half decent answers, and we're having fun. We're going to keep rocking, man. Good year for Pro Wrestling X, yeah.
Yeah. Peace.
Later, y'all.
See ya.